Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Michelle Dutrissa and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stamping Up. So let me just pop my comments on so I can see if anyone is coming on. Please, if you haven't been on here before, please jump on. Let me know your name, where you're from, but make sure you give SteamYards permission to show your name. Otherwise, I have no names up there and I don't know who's on. Today, what I thought we would do is have a look at some of the things, or talk about some of the things that happened last weekend for me at OnStage. Now, if you're already a demonstrator, you know that OnStage is an event that's held once a year around the world, where Stamping Up shows new catalogues, new product, and it is so exciting. We have so much fun meeting other people. So what I thought I'd do today, and I'm going to flip the camera down quite very soon, is I'm going to show you what I can. So I'm going to show you some swaps that I received from other demonstrators. I'm going to show you maybe some new product that I've got, because when we go to things like OnStage, we get the chance to have a play or look at and receive new product. So let's get this started and let's have a look. So as I said, please jump on, please say hello, because I'd love to know where you are from. Okay, so let me flip this camera. Okay, so let me bring that camera into view, because I just had to take it out of view a moment ago because my face was had a camera stand in the middle of it. So this is our lanyard, and that we get to wear on stage, so everybody knows your name. And I very luckily received 2 of these ribbon strips for team building level 1 and leadership level 1, which was fantastic. So thanks to the guys that have joined my team and people that have purchased from me. So also what we get when we come into Stamping Up into an event like this is we usually get a box like this. Let me turn it around the right way, or some sort of bag or something like this, filled with goodies for us. So I've actually got my swaps in here at the moment, so I've got my goodies sort of out separate so I can show you. So let me just, I'll bring this back in a sec. So let me show you what Stamping Up gave us when we first came on. So the first thing that they gave us is these badges. So this is what was in my box. So I've got these lovely badges that I added to my lanyard here. This badge here is my Creativity Abounds design team that I'm part of. That's 13 demonstrators from around the world. We get together each month and do a blog hop. We also put out a tutorial every month, which is, the new one is up and for sale now, which is gift giving. So different ways you can package gifts. I've done, I'm not quite sure where mine is at the moment. If I come across it underneath all this mess as we go through, I'll show you what I made, which is on the blog hop. So we got that. Inside that bag, we got a lovely bag. So isn't this gorgeous? This is just beautiful. It's in Evening Evergreen. It's got a really nice long strap. So my old bag is just getting to the point of maybe need to be changed. And it was actually in a sagey colored green. So this will go with everything I've got. These little bits and pieces here didn't come in my bag. This is actually from a friend of mine who's a demonstrator, Maswari. She's also on the design team. So she gave me a gift of these, which is just beautiful. And I had to add it to my bag. We also got, and I've popped it into a pocket here at the back, a really lovely notebook. Oops, I must have taken my notes. Oh, that's the right side there, because there's my notes there that I took on the weekend. And inside my bag, I have got, somewhere down the bottom, is the pen that they gave us as well. Oh, look at this. Isn't it beautiful? Hi, Kim. Hi, Lucia. Lucia was actually one of the people that did a demonstration on the weekend on last Saturday. So it was really fabulous to actually get to meet her at long last. So it's one of the best things about Stamping Up is making all these friends around the world and then actually getting to meet them at events like this. Also in that box, we got the Dainty. No, we didn't get the Dainty Delights. Sorry, wrong one. We got the beautiful Happy stamp set, which will be in your celebration catalogue. And we also got the hand-drawn dots stamp as well. So that's what we got when we first arrived. So let me get rid of those. I'll swap those over to there so I can show you that one in a moment. My room here looks a bit crazy because I've got stuff all over the place. So let's just remove that. We also got a copy of the new catalogues. Now, I'm not allowed to show you inside the catalogues, but I'm already going through and marking all the things that I really like. I've got, I think, it must be getting close to one nearly on every page of all the stuff that I've decided that I want to purchase. But just look at the covers. Aren't they beautiful? Some really nice product coming in that. So let me pop that to one side. Okay, now I was very lucky, and Achia was with me as well. We both got to do a presentation at Stamping Up. So we were asked to go up on stage and show new product that was coming in the catalogue. So I can now show you what this new product. I'm not showing you the catalogue. I'm just going to show you the products. So I had to show 4 products. So I'm going to go through each one. I'm going to show you the samples on each one and just let you know a little bit about not how I did it so much, but what some of the products are that I probably used. So the first one that I showed was the layered stripes. This is a really interesting stamp. It's a background stamp. It's probably not something I would have chosen first off to purchase, but I have grown to love this stamp set. You do need to, well, I recommend you use this with a Stamparatus, and I recommend that you use it also with a very well inked stamp pad. Hi, Joan. Hi, Anita. Welcome. So just to show you some of the cards or the projects that I made using this stamp. Now, this is the one that I did on stage for the beginner's stamp. And I've teamed it up. And I'm not going to try to remember all the names of all the stamps because I can never remember them. I'm hopeless with that sort of thing. But I've teamed it up with one of the other stamps there and made quite a masculine card. Now, this is a really good one for beginners. The second card I'd made with this that I had on display was this black and white one. Now, you can see here why this stamp is so striking. When you do it in black and white, and I think that was the first color I did, it actually scared the living daylights out of me because I was like, oh, what am I going to do with it? But I've teamed it up with a little bit of red and a little bit of garden green, and it looks fantastic. And this twine also is one of the new twines that's going to be coming out. And it's a pack of, let me just see if I can remove that for the moment. It's a pack of 3. And you've got in this Coastal Cabana, pumpkin pie, and then that one there is the garden green. So it's quite a thick twine, but you can pull it apart and use it in as a small, narrower piece as well. So that is that. Let me just pop that back on there and throw that one over there. The next one I did was this one here. Now, you can see where I got my idea from this one. Bring back in my twine, because there you go. There's the colours there. So that's where I got the idea from this. And I really liked the idea of, because this is sort of stripes, to cut out circles, and then teamed it up with my sentiment, which again, I've used one of the new punches that they're bringing out, and I don't know whether I've got that one handy. I haven't. I will show you that at a later date. So, but there is a new punch. It's a trio punch, or it's 2 punches, and you can cut different sizes within that punch. So That's a lot of fun, and I've actually used that same punch here. It's got two styles. This one here, I don't know whether you can see it, but it's like a the end of a ticket stub, you know, like what you used to get on the buses, or the other one that you can compare it to is the edges of a stamp. And the other punch is more of a scalloped edge. So I can imagine this one here being, you know, cut much smaller, probably about inch and a half, maybe inch and a quarter, and then with a ticket punch on either end. And it'll just look like the tickets you used to get from places like Luna Park, or as I said, getting on the bus or on the train. Could be a lot of fun. But there I've done with those ones, I've used it quite boldly. I'm a floral person, so when they gave this to me, it was very daunting because I like my flowers, I like my florals, I like my pastels, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to use it. But if you stamp it with your subtles, you get much softer effect, and it works really well with your florals. So that's that stamp set that I've got there in my layered stripes. The next one I demonstrated was the hand-drawn dots. This one here is a little bit more fun. The dots are all different sizes. They're not in straight lines. You got some big, some small, some a little bit all over the place. And what I did with that, I'm just going to bring in a scrapbook page. I'm hoping you can see this. And this is the scrapbook page that I did. I'm not going to show you how I did it. But this one here, well, basically what I did is I took my stamp and I folded it in half and stamped all over. And then brought in one of the leaf stamps to go over the top. But just really nice to make that lovely subtle style of background. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Kim. Thanks for cheer. Yeah, it was a fun technique. I was trying to, because you've got like this rectangular stamp, I didn't want blocks of rectangles all over my page or squares. So I wanted to be able to put it onto my page without being left with sort of square edges, corners, that sort of thing. So, and I didn't want to have a straight line. I wanted something that was all over the place, because I was just trying to replicate the feeling of the Australian bush. And as you can see here, I've used some dies to cut out my title, and that's another one of the products that I had to show, and that's the Alphabet a la Mode, which is also coming out. It's one I recommend you use it with the adhesive sheets on the back. It'll make it a lot easier to put down. It's a very thin, like each letter is probably no wider than a centimetre, or like no wider than half an inch, put it that way. So they're a little bit narrower than half an inch. It was a bit of a she didn't just do that moment. Oh, good, Kim. Yeah, I folded it. So, and what I've done there is I've layered my letters onto a piece of window sheet, and that enabled me to move it around my page to work out where I wanted it to be positioned on my page, because it was an afterthought to put that on there. But I also didn't want to cover up what I had going on underneath as well. And then it's just got a couple of glue dots in a couple of spaces there just to hold that into place. So the other one I did was another scrapbook page, and that was this one here. So let me just bring that in so you can see it. And again, I've used the dots here in my background, but what I did a little bit differently here with this one, again, you could use my splodging technique, but I actually got a piece of A4 copy paper and I cut out the largest circle in the layering dies. And basically I just popped that onto my cardstock and then stamped over the top of it. So this sort of gave you more of a circle rather than a splodge. So same sort of thing. It probably wasn't meant to have as much decoration as that on it. My idea in my head sort of expanded as I started adding bits and pieces, and a lot of fussy cutting. And that's with that new designer series paper that we've only got out until the end of December. So it's one of those ones, if you want it, you really do need to jump in and get it now. I think after doing this, I'm actually going to have to buy myself a second pack because I don't have much of this floral paper left. So some of it was cut with dies, like this one here was a die cut piece out of it, but a lot of these other pieces, such as that one there, was hand cut. And some of these pieces are actually along the edges as well, because I was able to tuck the straight edges underneath photos or underneath other bits and pieces. So that was a lot of fun to create that, and brought back a lot of memories many years ago before children. So that was the hand-drawn dots. To show you some of the cards I made with the hand-drawn dots, I've got this one here. So again, I've just stamped it, sponged all around the edges, and I've got that cute little hedgehog on there, just sitting on a piece of vellum, because your vellum will still allow those dots to come through, but it just allows the hedgehog and the flowers and the mushroom just to stand out that little bit more and not be overwhelmed by the dots. But that was a nice fun one to do. This one here, you can see the dots just in the background, and that was done with the white craft ink. So, and then I used one of the other dies that we had to cut out some paper in some shimmery white and coloured this in. And there's also some vellum there, and this leaf here is also vellum, which I coloured with a sponge and or with my blender brushes and some ink. So just a very more of a softer feminine style card, but again showing you that those dots work really well, even something like that. Then again, like my layered stripes, I had to do one with the dots, but this time, because the other one was with circles, straight lines and circles, this one's with dots, which is curves and squares, for something a little bit different, and bringing in those really nice bright colors, and on the basic black, that just really pops. Excuse me. So that is those two. So I've got one more to show you, and that was the watercolor world. Now this one here was like, oh, what am I going to do with it? It's got a bit of texture to the stamp. It's distinctive. You can color it like just by stamping it in a solid color, and it looks really great. Or you can use your blending brushes and color it up in in a variety of different colors. I'm trying to think of a word here, and I can't get it through. It's not coming through my head. So where you have that variegation of color blending into color. So to show you what I've done with that one is, this is an album I've made for my son. My son back in 2017 went to Cambodia. Now, just so then you know, this is actually the colors of the Cambodian flag. The Cambodian flag is blue, red, I think it's white in the middle, and then it's got a gold image on it, and I think it's of the royal palace or one of the ruins anyway. Ombre, thank you. That's what I was trying to work out. So what I've done here is like an ombre type effect with my world map underneath. I've taken one of the smaller stamps out of the stamp set, which has got all your calendar bits and pieces on it. As I said, I'm terrible with names. And I've just used a small circle, which you would put around one of the numbers if you wanted to highlight a date on your calendar. And I've actually highlighted where Cambodia is on the map. Again, I've used the alphabet a la mode to do my lettering, and that was done with, and I'll just bring this in so I can show you. So these are all your letters that you get in the alphabet. a la mode, and you've got your letters, and you also got your numbers. You've got a few extra letters here which are more to do with your French language, and probably even a little bit of German language. It's just the way that they pronounce those letters. It's someone else might know it a bit better than I do. My sister did tell me what it all meant. You've got a few little dies here if you want to add, a few extra dots or some other little pieces to change some of the sounds to these letters if you're using them in other languages. But you've also, with this, which I think is fantastic, you've got some letters which come in doubles. So you've got 2 A's, you've got 2 E's, you've got 2 L's, 2 N's, 2 R's, 2 S's, 2 T's. So you can almost get a whole word out in one go when you're using this. You can also use it, it's small enough you can use it very easily on your mini cut and emboss machine. But just to get back to these letters here, just to show you down here, this is pretty much what I've done. So I've taken a sheet, and I've got the sheet here that I can show you. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of foam adhesive sheet, and I've peeled off the backing off one side, and I've added a layer of basic black. Then I've added on top of that a layer of the adhesive sheet. So I'm sandwiching all this together, and then on top of that I've added the gold foil. Just don't breathe when we open this because it'll fly everywhere. So I've added that gold foil to it. I've used the soft brush that comes with the embossing kit that's in the current mini catalogue. And I can't find it right here at the moment. It's there somewhere. And pushed all that down. And then I've put my letters on top and cut it out. The only thing I do recommend that if you're going to do this technique, is probably get your embossing buddy and go over the top of it just to take off some of the stickiness. Some of the stickiness tends to come a little bit through the gold. And I have found, like I didn't do it on this one here, and I found it has got a little bit of adhesiveness. I had another one of these which, because as you can see, I've got area here I haven't used, that I wanted to go back and cut some more letters out, but I was using a very disgusting plate, and whatever paper residue that was left on that plate ended up on top of my gold foil. So to do this, if you add your embossing buddy and just give that a light coat of powder over the top, you are actually covering up all that stickiness and removing that stickiness. So you should be able to keep using this again if you wanted to use up all those little bits and pieces. So that's what I have done there with that. And just to show you some of the other cards that I made using both the Watercolor World and the Alphabet a la mode. This one here I did with daubers and coloured in different sections on the map, so you get quite a variety. Really great card for someone who's going overseas, so they can go see and do. This one here again is more of an ombre effect, and I've just added sending smiles across the miles. This one here again is with the adhesive, foam adhesive, and I've just cut this out using different designer series papers. This one I've just added the adhesive to the back of a piece of designer series paper and cut it out, and then stamped an image onto my cardstock and just did the word happy. And then this one here is a shaker card using some masculine designer series papers. That's the one that has all the die cut elements in it. And I've just done happy birthday to you. So just be very careful when you cut one of these out, because you do, if you're not careful, you lose the centers of your bees. And I really felt that that needed to be in there. And then I've used the foam strips inside there to form a wall, and I just use a piece of window sheet underneath to adhere these onto, and that's what keeps all my little bits and pieces inside there. So they're the cards that I made and had on display, with a little bit of more of an explanation of what they all are. You like the world map, do you, Vicky? Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm just not. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do a bit more research and see what else I can use it for. Great for your photo albums and people going overseas, traveling around. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of uses for it, but I've just got to I think do a bit more research with it. It's a bit small if you wanted to highlight a particular country, because it is a very small stamp. So I was looking at highlighting Great Britain, but Great Britain is less than a centimetre. So, yeah. But anyway, let me show you what else I have got. So that's what I demonstrated at the at Stamping Up on Stage. So let me show you what else I have here. And I'm just going to have to move some of this about. So just bear with me 1 second. I work in a very small room, and I have sewing on one side of me, which is behind me, and I have all my card making on the other side of me. And sometimes I just get to the point that everything is falling down around me because it piles up either side. It's only a single bedroom size. So, okay. So we also got a few freebies on the day, which was Prize Patrol. And I was lucky enough to get this one in my Prize Patrol, this new designer series paper. Let me open it up and show it to you. It's all animal style prints. So one side has got a glossy, so that's white with silver. So you can, if I shine that, you can see that. It was a pity you weren't there, Vicky. I miss seeing you too. It was fun doing on stage, though. I was glad once it was done, but I think I enjoyed it in the end. Didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. And then we have this one here, which looks like fish scales. This next one is a little bit like a zebra. And again, this has all got that foiling on it. So there's 2 sheets of each one of those. Then you have that one, which is like a crocodile skin, again with that gold foiling. Haven't even had a chance to play with this yet, so I don't know how I'm going to use it. That one is a little bit like a giraffe, and they're dots, but their dots here are in gold. And then that one is a little bit probably like a leopard print. And then if we flip these over, it's sort of like a 2-tone, but more in your natural. So there's your leopard, your giraffe, crocodile or alligator, depending on where you are in the world. A little bit more zebra-like. Your fish scales. Not quite sure what dots they would come, what animal that would be. Almost like a hyena type dot. Yeah, they will allow for a lot of uses. I'm going to have a play. I spend my weekends sort of playing card making stuff, not sewing. So as I've got a class tonight, and then tomorrow it'll be playing with all of this. So and working out what I can do with it. So we got that. Now, what else did I get as Prize Patrol? Wasn't that one? I think it was this one here. That's the other one we got in our prize patrol, which is the decorative borders, which again is a very pretty little one. You know, you've got your corners. This one here would be nice around a curve. Yeah, I can see this. Even, you know, if you did a card and then had something like that on the back of your envelope, it would be so elegant. Snake skin, yeah. I think, you know, all of those do lend to a lot of that. But yeah, I love this decorative. So this is me. This was what's so interesting about doing this for Stamping Up. And I mean, I enjoyed doing it in the end, but this sort of one wasn't me so much as that's me. But it's been good to be pushed out of your comfort zone, and it's really good to try something that's new. I think sometimes we get too stuck in what we always do. I'm trying to think, what else did we get, girls? That's maybe what all I've got. Then we can order, once we get back, we've got a couple of days where we can order what we call a PPP. It's those that attend and on stage can order product before it even goes live to other demonstrators, which will be beginning of December. So if you're thinking about, if you're not already a Stamping Up demonstrator, now is the time to start thinking about joining Stamping Up, because as of 1st of December, if you join, then you can actually order some of these products yourself. So then we have in our mini catalogue, we have our Dainty Delight stamp set, and that also comes with, now I put all my dies and everything together, so that comes with the dies, so you can buy that as a bundle, and the dies are called Dainty Delight dies. They're really pretty. You've got some really nice, let me just flip this over. Oops, sorry. So I've just got that on there. These are some really nice dies. You've got lots of little floral bits and pieces in here, and I've seen a few, not things used this, but I've been going through Pinterest to sort of get a few ideas with similar style product of what I can do with this. But you've got this beautiful sort of circular piece, which, you know, you could layer that as a base, and if you do a couple of those, you could almost get like a circle or an oval out of that. You've got these little flower pieces here. You've got that one there, which is like a little flower piece. I'm just trying to turn all these up. So you've got some little leaves. You've got those little flowers there. Now that's one of the ones to cut out one of the stamps. I've still yet to work out what all these do. That's sort of like it's not a circle, it's sort of a funny three-sided. There's two of them are circles, and one's like almost a triangle with three curved sides with little dots in the middle. That one I think goes with the stamp set. You've got this little piece here, which you could add to that if you wanted to. It's something that goes over the top even. You've got a stem, and then you've got, we go back to our stamp set, we've got this piece here which will cut out that one. You've got this one here which will cut out that lovely one there. That will cut out that one, and then this one that cuts out all of those. So that's actually another floral that doesn't actually go with the. So you've got all of these extra pieces, and then these pieces which cut out the stamps on the dies. I'm really looking forward to having a play with that one. So let me just pop all those back into my bag before I lose them all. They must have put the insert into this box while it was still slightly, ink was still slightly damp, because the ink has stuck onto the plastic. So I sort of look like I haven't cleaned my glasses when I look at this, and I've got a double, I don't know whether you can see it, a double image on there. I don't know whether you can actually see it, but it's sort of, I keep thinking, oh, I must go and clean my glasses. No, it's not my glasses. It's that. There's lots of dies in that, so that's a really nice little bundle to play with. And then if you get that bundle, I can't remember how much that costs, but it'll probably be a reasonable amount. Then you had this in the Celebration catalogue that goes with it. So let's pull this out so you can have a look at this. And this, I think, is actually really, turn it around that way, is really stunning. So you've got that beautiful paper. And then on the reverse, you've got that one. Then you have that one. I hope you can see that. It's probably need to have my camera a little bit higher up, but you could easily cut that down through the center and get lots of card fronts on that one. And then on the back of that is that one there, which is just like a little leaf type design. Oops, taking too many away there. Then that one, they did something similar to this a few years ago, which is really great because you can cut that out, and again makes a really nice card front. And then on the back, I love these. Isn't that beautiful? I love those colors. That's the blues and the purples, and the greens with a bit of the hint of the pink, and the mango melody is just, it's stunning. I love them. And that one there is like a soft sea foam with all of the leaves and everything on there. And then just a lovely little, that one's probably fresh freesia with a little spot on it. This one here, again, all your sort of in your lilacs and your purples. Just your lovely little floral. And I love that blue as well. Just love blue. Anything blue, I love it. Some more florals, very much similar to this one, except this one here, you've got more colour in it. And the other side of that one is all your pinks, similar to that green one we had earlier on. So that's that pack, and you can get that as a set in your celebration when you purchase the Dainty Delight. That one there, just to go back, this is the one I got on the in my box with the bag. That one there from the celebrations is one that it's $180, so you need to spend $180 and you can get that one for free because there's so many stamps. There's 17 stamps in that, and that is just beautiful. They actually demonstrated that on the day as well. Just thought of that. Okay, now the other one that I got, this is a celebration one, and this is the Adorable Owls. So cute. There was lots of really cute stamp sets. So I can't wait to have a little bit of a play with that one. So that's going to be an interesting one to play with. And then this one here is also in your mini catalogue. And this is one of the suites, which is By the Bay suite. So that's the seaside stamps. And I'll just show you. I just got to grab it out. Sorry. It's just out of my reach. I did this yesterday because I was having a play with this yesterday just to see what it's like. But there's all your stamps, and then that's all your dies. So you've got this bird here which you can stamp and die cut in there. You got these three little birds. Now they're all joined together as one stamp, and so you have that as one die. That's a pearl. A shell. We've got another shell here. You've got like a clam shell here with a pearl in it. You've got a crab. This one here, again, is one stamp with the 3 shells on like sand, but you can get that as a die, and that die is 1 die. You've got your mussel, and you've got sand. And then you have with it, you've got these ones here, grasses, which could be underwater grass or even the grass on a beach. You've got these clam. Now, these are 2 separate dies, but this is 1 die that has been joined together. You've got this clam here. That's opening flat, but you can actually close it up. You've got a couple of score lines across there, so you can close that up. You've got a clam here, which is the one for that one there that you can open. You've got your crab, you've got your mussel, and you've got your other pearl and shells in the dies as well. So then with that suite, you've also have these papers. And let me open these up so I can show you these. So you've got this really nice paper here. Now, these are all in your blue tones, your blues and your greens. And then the back is that one. Now, it's got like a, it's almost a holograph. It's like a, it's not a, it's a like foiling, but it's sort of like a clear foiling. So I don't know whether you can see that. Just picks up that light there. And I suppose that sort of almost represents the lines on your clamshell. So that's that paper. Then you have this one here, which is all your different shells. Of course, each one of these has 4 of each. And then you have that one with the gold foiling on top. Have this one with the crabs and the birds. Now, if anyone can tell me what bird that is, that would be great, because it's not a seagull. And then let me just, what's the one on? And then that's the reverse side of that one. So it's sort of a more of a muted under the sea with all your fish swimming around in a swirl and that gold foil. This one here is beautiful. It's just like a wash. So you can imagine that could be the ocean, the land, the sky. That could work out beautiful in a card. And then that's the reverse of that one. So that's similar to this one that we had. This one here is a slightly smaller pattern, though, to that one, but it's a similar pattern, but smaller, but done on your Knight of Navy back. You have your mussels. And then this one has got like a wave on it. You see that? That's actually quite pretty, that. Again, another one which you could use like a landscape. Again, ocean, sandy beach, sky. The reverse of that one is almost like a stormy sky type effect, but it's got a line through it again. It's like a clear foiling because you can see the pattern through it. It's not, it's the only way I could probably describe it as like a clear foil, but you can pick up different colors when you move it. It's sort of picking up the colors around, like the greens and everything, sort of around. Then you have like a driftwood, beechwood sort of timber that's been worn down, planking. And then again, your birds and your crabs and mussels, and it's got a little bit of gold foiling in those lines. More in your green toning. And then that one there, again, with the gold foil, but this time you've got sort of a bit more colour in it with a bit more of that blushing bride or even calypso coral sort of colour coming through it. Then this one here, again, with your mussels and your crabs. and flip that over. Oh, that is the other side of that one. It is too. Then this one here is your waves. Yeah, it is like a hologram, Anita. It's got that little bit of a feel to it. And then again, that same pattern as we were looking at before, but this was with the gold foiling added to it. Probably maybe not as pronounced. I mean, these little lines coming off this one here looks almost quite solid, whereas they probably are very similar. But again, it's a larger print than, say, this big one here. Then we have this one, which is all your muted greens and your mussels, and that's got that hologrammy type of clear foiling over the top of that. And then all your shells, and the back of that one is this one here. Now, I did have a play with this yesterday. I haven't blogged this one as yet, but this is the card I came up with, that one there. So what I've done there is I've stamped the bird in, I stamped him in smoky slate and then coloured him in using soft sea foam. I used also balmy blue. It's on a balmy blue base. Just trying to think of the bird, the colours. So soft sea foam, balmy blue, and a little bit of the grey granite in the blends as well on that one. And then I've used the Sahara sand for my sand in the background. I've used Night of Navy for my sentiment, picking up the Night of Navy in here. And my background is with the balmy blue, and then I've stamped the shells with the balmy blue. And then with my ribbon, I took a length of ribbon and I frayed the edges. So I've got like a little bit of a frayed edge here. But when I was fraying it, I found that I could actually take one of those little strips and gather this up. So I've put a piece of, I've just used a piece of round seal across, and then I've gathered it up and then pushed that down onto my seal. And then this is a bit of linen thread, which I've just tied into a multi bow and then pop it underneath that ribbon just to give it that little bit of extra texture. Also with this suite here, so let me just show you that ribbon. The ribbon is actually really nice. It's a lovely sort of, it goes from a balmy blue into a white, really soft, so you'd be great for tying bows. It doesn't have, it's only got a cut edge on each side of it, so when it came to doing the frayed edges like that, it was simple enough to pull them out, but it's not going to unravel because the edges are actually cut. Well, that one there is going to make a liar of me because now that's unraveling a little bit, but it is actually more of a cut edge rather than a sealed woven edge. But that's the ribbon. And then you have these little adhesive back pearls. So it's like a little flat pearl, and you've got different sizes there, 2 different sizes, which should, it's also got that slightly hologrammy look to it, so it's picking up all those colors because of the, the polarized effect. So that is what I got in my PPP. Do you have time to see what I got in my swaps? And I'll pull that box up. So let me just move all this out of the road. So one swap I did get, I got this lovely gift from Shani. That was nice, really nice of her to give me that. So a nice piercing mat or stamping mat. So I think I might keep that one nice and clean so I can use it for my stamping. I've got an old one somewhere that I've been using for my stamping, but I have in the past used it for piercing as well. So that's going to be nice and fresh for that one. And these are some of the lovely swaps that I've got. So I've got this one here from Linny. So that's just using the little pocket die. and she's put a little treat in there, a little Christmas treat. So that's from her, and she's used the designer series paper for that one. It's in the current mini. Now, just be aware too, the new mini catalogue that's coming out is only going to be out for 4 months. It's not out for 6. So if there's things in it, you sort of have to think about what you're wanting, and you only got really 4 months to purchase it from. So, but Lenny's used the designer series paper that she's used in this one is the layering circles for the Gingham Cottage designer series paper, which is a beautiful paper. I haven't actually purchased that one. So this one again is using that little envelope die. Very simple but very effective. I've been very good. I haven't gone through. Whoops, I should have it there where you can actually see it. I haven't gone through it and emptied all the chocolates out of them, so I've been a good girl. Okay, this one here, it's a lovely box. And this one here was made by Rebecca Nutley. Okay, so it's just one of the boxes with the paper with the silver foiling on it. And it feels like she's used the thick, very vanilla cardstock to make that. And there's the ribbon, which is the silver edged ribbon. What else have I got in here? My soiree made this one for me. It's one of those little boxes. I used to have made quite a few of these over the time, but I've always done it with a rounded corner. But so I found this really, I really like this. She's used the trio punch that's available at the moment to do the corners on this. But this is one of those boxes. All you do is you push the sides in, and it opens up. You can actually, with a 6x6 cardstock, I think you can get 2 of these little boxes out. So that is really cute. And she's used the paper here, and she's used the die from, I think it's He's the Man, to pop onto those. This one's also from my friend Linny George, which is just a little box that she's made in the designer series paper with the teacups on. The peg is actually not stamping up. And what has she popped in there? She has popped something in. I've been actually really good because I have not pulled any of these apart. And she's just popped a few little chocolates in there. I might have to share a few of these tonight with my husband while we're watching TV. Actually, may not be able to do that because we've got our card class on tonight. Then I've got this one. Now, who did this one come from? This is just a little... Let's see if I can open this up. Because I haven't even opened these up as yet. So this one here is from... Who did this one? Who did this? Corinne Dorset. And it's a double Hershey nugget treat box. Okay, so it's just got a little lid there, and there's the Hershey's in there that she's also covered with the designer series paper. That's a real cute little box. And then she's got stamped, like that stamp punch, a little bit of designer series paper, and then Happy Christmas stamped on there. Okay, then this one here is a lovely biscuit, and this was from, I should know, Marlene Robbins. So I think she's telling me her daughter made all the biscuits, and then she stamping up on that biscuit. That'll go down as a treat tonight with or this afternoon with my cup of coffee. So that was a really nice little one to get. This little treat box. Now, this is in the current mini. She's made, it's these little, let's see if I can pull them out. 2 of these cute, I didn't realize that these were so small, because this is not something that I've purchased, but 2 cute, these cute little boxes. I don't really want to undo it, but I suppose I'll have to undo the ribbon. And then let me just see if I can get this not wanting to open for me, because I don't have any idea what's inside it. Feels like something is in there. She's tied these up so tight. Let me just get my take a pick tool and let's see if I can pry that open a little bit. You're in awe of the 3D projects. I used to always do 3D projects for my swaps when I first started in Stamping Up. I haven't done them for a while now. I think I think usually these days I'm too busy, so I sort of, because I remember I used to spend ages and I used to make at least 40 of them. This one's a cute little one because you've got the die that cuts out the whole thing for you. But anyway, you open it up like that. And what have we got on the inside? Ah, lovely little chocolate ball. So it's perfect for those, just those little Liniment chocolate balls. Or you can put some, a few M&Ms or something in there, a few Smarties. But so cute. And then she's made this little box to go with it. So this really cute little box. Now, I don't even have any idea who it is that made this, because she hasn't given me any paperwork to say who it was. But such a really cute idea. Okay. So then I also got this lovely card. And this was from Anne Linnet. I love this designer series paper, but I haven't bought any of this suite as yet, but I do think it is beautiful. But again, that's my love of blues. When I used to work in retail in the shops, the people used to come in to show us fabrics that they wanted us to buy, the suppliers, and if it had blue in it, I'd be saying to my boss, "Oh, let's get that fabric." And she always knew that as soon as I had blue in it, I was going for it. Now, this I thought was such a really great idea. Now, this is the gnomes, the dies. And what she's done is she's created this lovely little gnome, but then made it into a brooch by putting a brooch backing on it. And I thought, how cute. So that's going to go somewhere really special, because it's not something you'd put on your clothing, but it's going to have to go on something around here to hang up, because I just think that is just such a fantastic idea. And in your mini catalogue, the new catalogue coming out, the gnomes are still there. So, but not same gnomes, more, different gnomes, but your gnome dies can still be used. So that was really exciting to see that was carrying over. And the person who's done this is Suzanne Bernard. Oh, that was lovely. I really loved that. So that's going to go somewhere special. It may even go into a scrapbook album, but just depends whether I can get that off the back successfully. I don't like putting things in my scrapbook albums that are bulky, so that's my personal choice on that. This was another one I really loved. This was given to me, Katrina Healy, and I just thought this was such a fantastic little idea. And I'm going to have to case this one, I think, because this would make a really great little gift for customers, or but what she's done is she's made a little book, a little notebook, and she's used, yeah, probably photocopy paper, but maybe slightly better than, like a slightly better quality photocopy paper. And then she's made a little cover for it. They're just stapled down the middle, so just 2 staples in the middle there. She's used a little die, then just a note, and then she's got a pencil, and she's covered the pencil in some of the designer series paper, and there's a, like, I've just noticed this, like a little pearl, one of the little elements on top. Really, really cute. So that was just another really fantastic idea. I've never seen that one done before. I thought that was just brilliant. This one was given to me by my lovely friend who I got to spend the day with, Tracy. And this is great too, because it just comes flat. And then all I've got to do now with it is fold it all together. I won't fold it now, but that's so I can add my glue into that. So it just makes a little box with a little hole there, so I can pop my glue into it. And I thought that was fantastic as well. Then this card here, which was made by Beverly Chris, and she's used a few different colors to color in the wave, and it looks like she's used blends or something to color in the bird and the logs as well. Yep, she's used blends for that. So this one here is a lovely card for Christmas, using the one of the sweets in the current mini catalogue, and that was from Christina Martin. So a lovely card, very, very simple. Nice thank you card using the daisy punch. And that one was made by Melissa Swingler. Hope I'm pronouncing these correctly. And it looks like she's got the jar punch underneath that as well. This one here using the new Florets stamp set. And this one was by Wendy Hodgkins. Yeah, framed florets. And it looks like she's done some beautiful colouring with the blends on that one. This one here is a little, just like a little gift card, note card for somebody, and that was by Shirley Jones. A bookmark, and I don't have a name on that one. And those beautiful blues again. That's in the Starry Sky, I think. And then this one here, and this one was by Cheryl Hurst. You know, it's fantastic. I mean, all these cards, and I'm looking at the people who made them. These are people that I've sort of I've admired their work and everything for ages or whatever, and I just haven't realised that card was given to me by Cheryl. It's the same with the little gnome. I'm just sort of now having a chance of reading. You know, you see people on Facebook and everything. You've never met them before, and then everyone's different when you actually meet them face to face. You don't realise, but I'm so glad I've got something from them. Another little Christmas card front, or Christmas card, and that's from my friend Leonie Newman. And what she's done here is she's taken the strips of the gold and the rose gold trying to think of the name of that paper. I usually have it right here. That's using the gold and rose gold metallic specialty paper, and she's done it in strips and looks like she's adhered it to window sheet and then cut out the circle and with a bow on top. Very simple, very, very effective. And then this one here is from Kylie, my friend Kylie, and she stamped the books a couple of times on here. And she's left that uncolored, so then we could color that ourselves, either using your watercolor pencils or your blends. I also got this beautiful card, and this card was given to me by Paula and Brian for doing the presentation for them as my thank you card. So very, very special. Bruno and Kylie gave me a face mask, and Bruno made up this, he calls it Ebbs, which is a little jar of, it's got salt flakes in it and onion flakes, I think garlic flakes, and a few other things in it. Really, really nice to put over over your food. So I've got a couple of other little things here. This beautiful little envelope here that was made for me. That's what my from my soiree. That's what my little charms were in, which she gave to me. And then these are the cards that we made from on the day from the kit, and this is from the Timeless. It's just a new kit that's come out, so we got to have a play and make those. And then there's the matching envelopes, and that is it. So I hope you've enjoyed having a look at all my bits and pieces that I've collected from OnStage. It's really a lot of fun. I wish that more demonstrators could go to it so we could all get together. We're not having one, I don't think, next year. I think that's what they said. It's going to be a more of an online one, and then there's a big one happening in the following year after that. So there's lots of changes again happening with Stamping Up over the next 12 months. So that'll be exciting to see where that's going to take us. I hope you've enjoyed today. No stamping as such, just looking at a lot of these wonderful bits and pieces. I hope I've inspired you a little bit to have a go at some of those stamp sets, those background stamp sets especially. As I said, I probably would not have bought them if I hadn't been given them. But they are a lot of fun, and I did end up really enjoying using them, and really recommend that you at least get one or two of them and give them a go and see what you can come up with. The dots and the I was actually watching a show on TV, which is a repeat. I can't think now what station it was. Ernie Dingo is the compere of the show, and he travels around a lot of the Aboriginal communities here. And talks to them about, talks to different people in that community about their lives and what they've done for the community. Some of them are artists. There was one that was a nun, but the last one I saw, which was probably just before OnStage, and he was talking to a gentleman who is an artist, an Aboriginal artist, working on one of the islands. I'm trying to think of the name of the island. I can't think now what it was. But anyway, he does screen printing. And it's amazing where you see things and you go, oh, that looks like that. But the screen printing that he was doing was, I grabbed the wrong stamp set here. Where's the other one? It was made up, it was like almost like a checkerboard effect. And so it was made up of little squares, and the squares were only about yay big. They weren't that big. But what it was one square had a design like that in it. and the other square had a design like that in it. And I just thought it's just so amazing. I mean, because these are very, I keep using the word ergonomical, which is the wrong word. They're very earthy. They're very tactile. They're very, this one here is like almost flowy. And you know, they're not hard straight lines. They're not, yeah, I can't just quite put it into words, but I really feel that both of these two, even though when I first saw them, I went, oh, I don't like them, I now love them. I think there is going to be so much we can do with them. So don't let them scare you off. Get in, have a try of them, see what you think. I've got other ideas in my head going around of how I want to use them. But I think you'll have a lot of fun with these. But as I said, the new mini catalogue is only going to be 4 months. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of products, I think, that we're all going to be wanting to get as quickly as we possibly can, so we can start using them and showing them and sending them out to all our friends and family. So have a lovely week. Next week, we're going to make something, and hopefully with something new that I've shown you today. And we're going to have a bit of fun. So take care. Have a lovely week. Let me just pop this up. If any of you aren't already a demonstrator and you do like any of the products that you've seen here, or you do want a catalogue or anything like that, you can contact me at any through my blog, or just send me an email, which I haven't actually put on there, which is at michelle@jutrissa.com. Just remember, Michelle is with 1 L. Any of these products and everything I've used, you can order. If you're not a demonstrator, you'll be able to order them as of the 5th of January, I think it is. So take care. I'll go back to me. So take care. Have a lovely week. Let me just move this right out of my face so it's not in my face. And we'll see you next week. So have a great week. Have fun and enjoy. And please share what you're making. Bye for now.